Hi guys, happy Saturday.
Hello. So we are back with this live event again in Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube.
We first wanted to thank everyone for following us. We reached 5,000 followers on Instagram, and as of today, we reached 7,000 on YouTube. So if you're not following us yet on all of the channels, please do so. You can just search MOL Portugal and you will find us. There's a lot of happening in Portugal. So we also want to take this chance to answer some questions. So where do we start with the news in Portugal? Maybe the golden visa?
So it's officially off. It finally finished after so many initial news that it will end. It will end in 2021, then would end in 2022. So now that we are in 2023, it's finally finished. There's no more chances for someone to apply for the golden visa via real estate. So some other options are still available, but not the real estate one anymore, no matter if it is a fund or if it is a property in the countryside, in the low density territories, or in any city. So all that is related with the real estate market, it's off. And this ended up to be a decision, or it was a political decision made by the present prime minister and government for helping improving the housing market in a way for having more properties available for the ones who actually needs to live in it. So we can argue and agree or disagree, but at this point, there's no chance for someone outside of Europe that would like to invest in Portugal and in exchange get their golden visa. So this program is off. Eventually, in the future, they might come up with some other options, but at least for now, with this government, we don't think that it will happen anymore. And more recently, there's also news about the NHR regime. So
we'll talk about it later. I just want to wrap up the golden visa update. Joe, hi. Is a future government likely to bring back the golden visa? We believe so, but depends on the political point of view of the next government, right? This government is really, how do I put it?
Conservative.
Conservative, sort of not a big fan of ideas like golden visa, but I think the main point of the policy changes and all the update is if you want to do something, not even probably even golden visa in Spain or whatever you think about relocation, do it, because as you wait longer, the regulations might change. Ending golden visa, they talked about first times in February. And then we actually been helping many of our clients to get their application submitted. So our last batch of the clients who were applying for golden visa was actually in August, right? And then in August, we felt like, okay, we probably would be pushing it if we accept more clients for golden visa. So we stopped accepting, but those clients are safe. They're not affected because as long as the applications are in, they're in the program. So if you're thinking about Portugal, first get your NIF number and bank account, because those two things are the most basic steps of whatever you want to do in Portugal. So get those ready before anything changes. We already feel, because we also help our clients to get NIF number and bank account, we already feel it's more and more difficult or requires more and more documents to open bank account for our clients versus before it was super easy. It can be done within like 2-3 working days. And now we have to answer millions of compliance questions and provide extra documents from our clients. So do it as you can.
Mata. Now that we cannot have golden visa anymore in Portugal, what other options people still have in European Union or other residency options now available? And if you plan just to go for the golden visas in Europe, then you still have some options in Europe, Spain right next to here in Portugal, or Greece as well, Cyprus, Malta. So those still keep options as for golden visa applicants from outside of Europe. Although it's very clear that the European Union itself it's not very keen to keep any golden visa program in Europe. So if you feel like that a golden visa program is the best option for you, then maybe you should take the chance to explore those programs as quick as possible. And then going to Mata's question, there are other options beside the golden visa, but all of them requires you to move in and live in Portugal. So it's not possible anymore. And this was the great opportunity that golden visa offered to others, to everyone that wanted to have a second passport or a visa, was that they didn't need to move in and live in Portugal. So now all the residency programs available, they all require you to move in and live in Portugal. And for that, you have the D7 visa, which is what is called usually the passive income visa, that would require you to have a passive income of 12 times the minimum wage in Portugal, and then get a rental contract for at least 1 year. This is going for the visa. Of course, you can buy a property as well, but you can also just rent an apartment for a minimum of 12 years and then have a clean criminal record and little more. Other option would be also the D8, what is known as the digital nomad visa. And for that, the threshold is a bit higher. It's over 3,000 euros of income that you need to have monthly while working remotely from Portugal. So you need to work for a company or for yourself, but not necessarily in Portugal. And then you also have open a company in Portugal and then be yourself an employee of that company. And by that way, you can also gain your residency. Or you can have a normal working visa, working for a Portuguese company or a company based in Portugal. And that will allow you also to have your residency visa.
As Rafael mentioned, the golden visa program that we used to help our clients with, it's like buying an older property, for example, and then renovate it, bring it back to life. That part is definitely finished. Again, we want to clarify a little bit that golden visa, it's not what the media or this program from the government has portrayed. It doesn't really affect the housing market as how they paint the picture. You can check our YouTube video. We actually did extensive research on the numbers. So the transaction of the property for golden visa is actually less than 1% of the entire market. What you see probably is development projects, which they usually, for example, sold by fund, and they usually don't actually go into the regular real estate market because, for example, they will sell hotel shares, and so this is even further than what the government has been promoting. We feel this is not as fair probably as for example, NHR, we see the changes because as locals, we do pay a lot of tax. So NHR change, we sort of understand, but we want to clarify that NHR change, it doesn't have anything to do with the attitude of the government not welcoming foreigners, or locals don't welcome foreigners. It's just a pure, how do you say this, political statement which will affect this. So
yes, you for the ones that are not aware of the political situation in Portugal, the government that is in charge has the majority in the parliament, and this government, it's from a political party that is from the center left. So in that sense, they tend to be more protective, and tend to regulate the market in the way they think that it's better for the country. We can agree or disagree, have our own opinion, but the fact is that they are the ones who are in charge of the government. So based on their political view, they tend to, they are now trying to regulate a market that in the past years outgrew actually the average of the real estate market in Europe and in many other destinations in the world. You can see it directly in the market that the property prices rose by several digits in the past 5 to 10 years, and also the rental prices rose a lot. So at certain point, consider that Portugal has an average income per person that is not that high. It's actually at around 20-something thousand euros per year. So people start to struggle with a place for them to live. And having a central left wing government, it's quite natural that they try to control the markets and not let it flow naturally, because the prices actually have been going quite high, more than what most of the people can afford in Portugal.
We have a good question here. Why is the Alentejo region so underdeveloped?
No, it's not a lack. Well, of infrastructure, Alentejo is quite connected, even has an airport close to Beja that is not fully operational, but it has, and also many highways to cross country the region. The thing in Alentejo is the density. There's very little population in Alentejo, and not much of jobs offer in Alentejo beside agriculture-related offers. So that is probably the main reason. So historically, people tend to move in Portugal, from the rural areas to the cities to find better opportunities for their lives and for their families. And because of that, little by little, along the years, the interior of Portugal started to have very little people living there, and most of the people there stayed were already old, and because of that, they preferred to stay. So at this point, you see a vast region of Portugal that has very little population, and because of that, also very little offer. So it's like a roundabout that you go around until you find the way out, right? So you don't have people because you don't have job offers. You don't have job offers of industry because you don't have people. So it's a cycle that somehow eventually, now that we all can work remotely and can use Zoom for having meetings, or I mean, we can all work different jobs as well. So Alentejo, it's probably a great choice at this point. The weather is nice, the people are nice as well. It's quite affordable to buy a property in Alentejo and live in Alentejo. It's very peaceful, very relaxing. So maybe it can become a hub for people to move in.
Alentejo is actually our favorite region.
We love
yeah, because it's also so beautiful. You have very, very nice landscape, and you have a lot of produce from Portugal. It's actually from Alentejo, the cheese, the wine, the
cheese, the wine, the food.
The food, yes.
The peaceful landscape.
Yes.
Perfect for some, relaxing hotels stay.
Yeah, actually, Comporta, no?
Comporta is also in Alentejo.
Is that Comporta? It's probably, I would say, at this point, the most expensive real estate area in Portugal. It's actually in Alentejo. So there's still a lot of diamonds in the rough in the area. And it is underestimated compared to the other region of Portugal, like Algarve. But yeah, it's definitely worth to check out.
And Alentejo, just because we are talking about Alentejo. Alentejo is not only the countryside, it has a coastal area as well, quite big for Portuguese standards, that goes all the way from the peninsula of Setúbal down to Algarve. So all that coastal area belongs to the region of Alentejo. It's the biggest region of Portugal, and it has the countryside and also the seaside as well, which is not yet that developed compared with the south of Portugal.
Yeah. So let's answer some questions from YouTube. Hi, Michelle. Michelle says, love your renovation videos. Do you prefer renovating in major cities like Lisbon or in the Algarve? What are the pros and cons? If you ask for our preference, we love renovate super, super old property that is almost collapsing. That's our favorite things to do. And then make it really nice and modern, but at the same time, keep the features.
I also prefer in the outside of Lisbon or in the countryside, or in other small cities, because you get more of that traditional architecture. So you have the chance to work with a gem, like Mia was saying, and at the same time, it's there's less impact in the neighbors. So if you do a renovation in an apartment in Lisbon, then you also always need to deal with the neighbors and with their complaints sometimes. So in the countryside or in the smaller cities, in small villas or townhouses, it's easier and it's usually better.
In one of our renovation projects that we manage for our clients, that the contractor has been helping the upstairs neighbor, an old lady, to carry groceries all the time, just to make, because Portugal is very relationship based country, culture also. And then Rafael, it's always like making small talks with the lady all the time on the phone. So these are the things you have to do when you renovate in the city, just to be very friendly with the neighbors and be extra careful with the noise, with the don't make the hallway dirty, things like that.
Yeah, cleaning the stairways.
Yes.
In this case, it's actually a very nice lady, old lady already, with her mom, lives with her mom. Her mom is already 90-something years old, and they live in the fourth floor in a building without elevator. So yeah, it came very handy helping her to carry the groceries.
Yeah. So Marcelo asks, what is the best place for an LGBT person to settle in Portugal besides Lisbon? I would say everywhere. It really depends on your lifestyle, because Portugal is a country that is very open. I would say anywhere.
Yeah, we don't think anyone from the LGBT would have problems in Portugal. Portugal is very open to different cultures, to different lifestyles. I don't see it a big problem anywhere in Portugal.
The next question, how do you open a bank account and get a NIF number in Portugal without an attorney? Is it possible to do this? Yes, actually, we launched a website to help our clients to obtain NIF number and opening bank account remotely in Portugal. You don't need an attorney. You can check out our website, easystarteurope.com, or we will make a comment on this video when we post this, so you can check it out. It's fairly easy. Besides a bank account is easy, but it just takes more time nowadays.
What would you say would be a good area to explore for purchasing land near enough to Comporta, but not Comporta prices?
Oh, we have so much to say. I think
we need to tell everyone about that experience that we had with that couple client of ours.
Yes. Oh, yes. No, but first, let me answer this question. 3 years ago, we would say Melides. It's super close to Comporta. It's right next. It's beautiful. It has everything Comporta has to offer.
It's like a second Comporta.
But now it's a second Comporta. It's not affordable anymore.
What's the name of that designer that opened? Le Botin. So Le Botin, the shoes, the shoemaker. Shoemaker is it?
The designer.
The designer. Just recently opened a hotel in Melides. So the prices in Melides really skyrocketed. On the same path as Comporta. Where can you go close enough to Comporta, but not paying Comporta prices? You need to move to the countryside of the municipality of Alcácer do Sal to find your piece of land that still can be more affordable, way more affordable than buying in Comporta. So try Alcácer do Sal, countryside. You might find the right place for you there.
Another question, is it difficult for an EU citizen, not Portuguese, to purchase a property in Portugal? No, anyone can purchase a property in Portugal. You don't need to be residents in Portugal. I love this question.
This can be very handy.
Yes. How do you see the future of your business after the NHR change and Golden Visa change? You first.
Me personally, I'm very happy with all these changes. We had three very intensive years, working years, that we could not have any days off, any vacations. Even when we were going family for vacations, we were always working all the time, or most of the time, having calls, dealing with whatever situations that we need, negotiation in properties. So it was 3 very intensive years, and we really feel like that it's time for us to have some days off, try to relax a little bit at this point. Besides the end of the Golden Visa and the announced end of the NHR tax regime, we are buyers agents, and the Golden Visa was never our biggest business area. Remember that the Golden Visa standed only for 1% of the market. So most of our clients are people that just want to buy properties in Portugal, regardless of Golden Visa, regardless even of the NHR. So we work as buyers agents, trying to help them the best we can to find the right property at the right price in the right place for them. So for us, it's not a big change. It's just a change. When we have a say in Portugal that when one door closes, a window will be open. For now, I'm actually quite happy that I don't need to deal with deadlines. For instance, this since 2021, we faced the deadline of the December 2021, where most of the coastal areas and the major cities went out of the Golden Visa program. And then this year, we had the announcement of the Prime Minister. So in February, we closed 20-something deals because of this announcement. Everyone was rushing. End of July, we were facing the voting at the parliament for this housing program. So we faced another deadline. So it was very draining in terms of work, very intensive. So I'm quite happy that we won't need to deal with deadlines this way. I quite feel like great.
Yeah, we are actually just now at the stage, just want to do projects and take time to really help our clients in the normal speed instead of, between us and the lawyer and the staff, the immigration and our clients, everyone is full of anxiety and stressed. We actually very happy that the other shoe has dropped for Golden Visa. Of course, we are not happy. We don't think it's fair that they end the Golden Visa because we think it's a great program to bring back a lot of old properties. And if you look around in Portugal, you will find a lot of those properties, a lot of towns, like the roof are off and buildings are falling down, which is a pity because we love the old architecture. But in general, for us, the work-life balance and also the work quality that we want to deliver, we feel much more comfortable. But at this note, we have to say that we are no longer accepting clients till 2024 January because we are quite overwhelmed. Even with the Golden Visa finish, we still have a lot of other clients and projects who finish, but we still offer consultation services services. You can book a call with us, or you can hire us to check out individual properties, which you can email us for details. And very soon we'll update our websites for this. We just want to have a good pace and to deliver a quality result to our clients.
We want to meet you guys. How can we contact? This is just in our website. We have an option for having a call with us. So it's just go to molportugal.com and you'll find a place where you can schedule a slot for having a call with us, and you can do it very easy.
Yeah. What do you think will happen to the lesser popular, underdeveloped areas to buy property in Portugal now the GV is done? Didn't the Golden Visa help rehabilitate properties in these areas? Yes, that's what we were talking about. It's actually heartbroken for us to see, because Golden Visa really helped. It helped Lisbon. Look at downtown Lisbon. A lot of properties are being renovated already that you see now were actually Golden Visa investment. They kept the beautiful historic facade and they renovate inside, no matter it's turned into residential building or Airbnb. Of course, Airbnb is another thing, we can talk about it later, but it really, really gave the city a great facelift. And now we have more tourism. People find Lisbon so charming, so beautiful, and it's great for the economy. Yes, and also create a lot of jobs because of Golden Visa. We hire a lot of local people in the areas of the Golden Visa properties were being renovated also. David, Ola, understand labor costs is less expensive than in US. How does MOL estimate renovation costs by square meter, by the job? Would you say you've stayed on time and budget successfully? First of all, I don't think there is a comparison. It will be like compare apple to pear, because in Portugal, the most difficult, I'm sure you guys all heard about some horror stories of renovating or buying properties in Portugal. That's why a service like us exists. The biggest issue for in Portugal for us actually is the shortage of labor. And among this very, very little pool, it's very difficult to find reliable people. So when we find any reliable partners, we just gave them tons of work. We don't want anything from this. Is the only way to keep really capable people around you. We already have a sense. For example, when we present a property that needs renovation to our clients, we can already give them more or less the estimation. It's not only based on the square meter, it's also based on the conditions and where it's located. But how do I put this? But the price or the cost of renovation, it's not depends on the region. I have this question all the time that is it more expensive to renovate in north in Portugal or in the south, or is it more expensive in the south? It doesn't matter, because all those teams, they travel around. Portugal is small. A lot of times in the more rural area probably will be more expensive because the logistics is not because of the area is more expensive, because the teams are very mobile.
Yeah. And also we are a small market, so most of the suppliers of construction products, they don't stock up. So whenever you buy some products, let's say doors or locks or switches, they don't have many available. So you need to place your order and then wait to receive them. And sometimes this can, for some products, this can take 1 month or more, 3 months. We had we have an example of a client of ours that did the renovation, a full renovation of a townhouse villa, and they wanted a specific wood flooring. So that wood flooring took more than 3 months to arrive, just to arrive.
Then the wood flooring arrived, and then we had to wait for the glue, because the glue is a special glue, so it's another 2 months. So David, to give you an answer, stay on cost, I would say we have managed, I don't know, 50 renovations, and now we have another 30 going. Only one went over budget, which was the YouTube video we just posted last week, which was the beam, the support, and all the rest. The beams, yeah, stay within budget. Timeline, I cannot give you a straight answer because it's not only the contractor, it's the client changing the mind, or the supplier all of a sudden cannot deliver because it was stuck somewhere. It's a small market. A lot of our products coming from Spain. So we need to rely on a lot of suppliers in Spain as well.
Another example that we can give you. So in some of the renovations that we do, we need to install new stairways, metal stairs. So since the market is small, the companies also, the suppliers and the companies, they are not big as well. So in this case, we were waiting for, we ordered some stairs for a property in particular. And the supplier went in a major event in his life, divorcing and
health issues,
to deal with health issues at the same time. So he took several months to deliver the stairs, and yet they were not delivered completed. So it's still missing small parts in it. Because there are not many people available for this kind of works, and as Mia said at the beginning, labor is the major issue.
Yeah,
most of the time.
We tried to solve this. We tried to find other stair providers, good ones. It has to have a good reputation in the industry. And the one we found, the best one we found, the second option, telling us he doesn't accept new jobs for the coming 2 years. So, I mean, what do you do in a situation like this? Of course, you just keep waiting for the first one. I have a good question. Do you think it's better value for money to buy a property in a town and renovate, or build from scratch on rural land further out of the main town and cities? I would say it depends on few factors: your vision, the purpose of the property, your budget, and how much time you're willing to invest.
Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of people have this idea. We also have this idea. We're doing it, buy a piece of land and building a villa, but it just.
We're also doing buying an old properties and renovating. So yes. We can actually compare both.
Yes. So I don't know if for you, but for me, this buying a piece of land and building a villa, because we're in the phase of communicating with City Hall with the project now. I basically put it in my mind as I'm not going to put any timeline on it. I'm not going to have any expectations on when it will gets proved, and then so we can build. I just basically leave it there, let the architects do their job, and that's it. I don't have any expectations. I think that says something about the timeline.
The big difference is if you buy an old property and the renovation that you want to do in it requires a permit from the City Hall, then it will be as time consuming as buying just a plot and build a completely new villa in it. If the renovations that you need to do not require permits from the City Hall, then most likely it will be quicker to buy something old and renovate.
Do you sell in Tumar area as well? Okay, just for people who don't know us very well, just quickly wrap up. What do? We are a buyer's agent. We help our clients to advise on locations, search properties, vet the property, and give our client feedback. Because we don't carry any listings, we're not selling anything, so we never have the pressure to push any property to our clients. We always go based on their criteria to search something that will fit them. We also advise and manage renovations for them. We also handle rentals for them. We used to do interior design service as well. So this is our service. And as I was saying, because we have a lot of clients. We're very fortunate, and we want to deliver good quality product, and we're a small team. It's me and Raphael facing the clients, and we have a small team behind us, and we want to make sure all the clients gets very good result. So for that, we are not accepting this full scope service clients until 2024 January. However, me and Raphael personally, we still offer consultation calls, advice on locations, and we can also verify if you're overseas, you see some listings, and you can give us a list of the listings, and we can check the general information, whether it's available or not, where it's located. And furthermore, if you want us to do individual trip, the visit, we can also do. We also have another side of the business to help our clients, which is to help you obtain NIF number and bank account. So that website is easystarteurope.com. Check it out. So we don't sell in Tumar, but we can definitely help you find something in Tumar. Next question. Hi, Evelyn. My apologies if anyone has asked the question. Any further information on how the NHR change will affect retired expats planning on moving to Portugal?
You need to have everything ready till the end of this year.
To be safe.
To be safe.
Yeah.
So the end of the NHR, it's in the new annual budget law that the government will submit to the parliament to be voted. They have the majority in the parliament, so they will vote. It's expectable to enter in force on the 1st of January 2024. So eventually, the end of the NHR regime will be the first day of 2024. So if you have everything ready and you can move quick, it's your time to do so.
It's in government's plan that it will end in 2024. We just don't know it's from January 1st or it's from end of December. Do you do both residential property and commercial property?
Yes, we do. We do both. Most of our clients are actually residential clients, but we receive a fair number of clients that are more into commercial and even bigger investments, hotels, things like that. And we also help them finding the property that they want to.
Before applying for D7, I know we need to produce a 1-year lease in Portugal. Can you assist with 1-year lease? But it does seem if we have to pay for the vacant months before we apply, and while waiting for our D7 process to complete to be accepted at SEF appointment in Portugal, correct? Correct. Unfortunately, it is correct. For anyone who is interested in D7 visa, who needs to provide a proof of accommodation, you are going to face some vacant months for your lease.
In terms of real estate market for rentals, there's more demand than offer. So the landlords, they know that they can rent their apartments very quick. So they don't want to wait for someone to start a lease in 2 or 3 months from now. So if you want to secure your lease, then you actually need to pay even for the months that you are not living in the apartment yet. We have a website where we just deal with rental properties. Is Property Rental Portugal, where we can help our clients to find rental apartments or villas or any other property in Portugal. And we also have sometimes the chance to go over this situation and help our clients further to avoid them to pay for a lease without living in Portugal. So if you are looking for a lease, for applying for a D7 visa or D8 or any other, reach out to us and we will try to help trying to avoid this situation if we can.
How much time it takes to finalize all required documents such as NIF and bank account? It actually depends on you because, for example, for NIF, we required to have your proof of address, your passport copy, and then depends on how fast you can send it to us. And then for bank account, you also need to send us your proof of employment and any other questions that bank might have to ask you. Usually the question like, why do you want to move to Portugal? Once you're in Portugal or the bank account is open, how much money are you going to transfer? What is the origin? What is the source of the funds? Etc., etc.
For instance, in our website, easystarteurope.com, where we deal with helping people to get an IF number in Portugal and also opening a bank account in Portugal, we can get you an IF number in 3 working days maximum. For the bank account, it doesn't depend on us. It depends on the banks, and some banks, they are more demanding in terms of compliance. It also, they look into the profile of the client that wants to open the bank account, their background, the country of origin. So all that can add time in terms of compliance for the bank account to be open.
Hello, we are in the process of buying a condo in Algarve, Albufeira.
Congratulations.
We're planning on renting it out short-term on Airbnb. Are people in Algarve getting turned away for AL license? AL is the Airbnb short-term license. It depends on where it's located, of course, but in general, the rules nowadays are if one of the neighbors in the building doesn't agree, then you will not get a AL license. But it depends on the area. For example, interior of Portugal, you don't have this problem.
My mother and older brother are dependents. Can I move them with me on a D7 visa? Yes, if you can prove that in this case, your mother and your older brother are financially dependent on you, then yes, you can include them as family reunion in your D7 application.
Another question, how can outsiders buy in Portugal? Don't you have to be a citizen? I am Portuguese, born in Portugal, in Terceira, and my husband is Mexican, born in Mexico, was wondering, doesn't he need to be a citizen in Portugal? If you're only talking about buy a property, no. Anyone can buy a property in Portugal.
Regardless of their residency status in Portugal. Again, thank you so much for almost 7,000 followers in the YouTube.
Yeah.
We will keep on our journey of posting weekly videos on YouTube and try to advise you guys related with the real estate market in Portugal the best we can, regardless of it is for buying, for residential means, for rental, or any other that we can help with you guys in this market. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Yes, thank you guys so much for your support. We hope to talk to you guys soon. We're just so grateful because social media is not our main job, but we are getting somewhere with your support and we're super happy about it. And we know that someone actually out there and see see what we're sharing with everyone. Get in touch if you have any questions. We do have a lot of services we can help you. We have a solid team as well. Or if you just have any random question, let us know. Thank you guys. Bye.
Thank you. Have a nice weekend.
Bye-bye.